Released in the immediate wake of the new Hollywood breakthrough, Goodbye Columbus feels like a quieter companion to the era's more confrontational films. Adapted from Philip Roth's novella, it captures the late-60s suburban moment just as social mobility and sexual freedom were becoming visible and slightly uncomfortable. At its core, this is a class romance disguised as a summer fling, a working-class librarian pulled into the manicured orbit of a wealthy, status-conscious Jewish family in New Jersey. The film observes a culture loosening its collar, sexually and economically, while still holding on to the familiar structure of the studio-era love story. It is 1969 at ground level, sunlit, aspirational, and quietly self-aware. The Fun City Editions release is the first version to treat the film with real care. Sourced from a new 4K Paramount remaster, the presentation restores the full density of late-60s film grain, thick, textured, and unmistakably photographic. This is not a smoothed-over image. Grain moves, fabric textures register, the bright suburban interiors finally carry weight. There are moments where the encode works hard to manage that density and does struggle occasionally, but overall this is a substantial improvement over earlier softer masters. For collectors, this is the edition that finally resolves the details from country club interiors to the humid glare of a New York summer. It feels stable, filmic, and honest to the period. Directed by Larry Peerce, the film clearly echoes the influence of The Graduate, though it lacks the same bite. Where Mike Nichols approached suburban malaise with icy satire, Peerce opts for something more restrained and observational. The emphasis shifts to performance. Ali MacGraw in her breakout role plays Brenda Patimkin with easy entitlement, poised, attractive, and entirely at home in a world built on visible success. Opposite her, Richard Benjamin gives Neil Klugman a wary intelligence, moving through the Patimkin household as both participant and outsider. The soundtrack by The Association places the film firmly in its moment, though comparisons to Simon and Garfunkel inevitably highlight the difference in emotional weight. The film is progressive in subject, premarital sex, birth control, shifting class boundaries, yet traditional in execution. It stands between eras, the final stretch of polished studio romance and the more introspective character studies that would define the 1970s. Goodbye Columbus may not have the confrontational edge of its contemporaries, but it remains an important snapshot of late-60s suburban cinema. Its strength lies in observation rather than attack, in how clearly it captures class, aspiration, and the subtle tensions beneath a summer romance. Fun City's 4K sourced edition is comfortably the best home presentation to date, grain intact, colours balanced, details restored, a decent encode. For anyone tracking the evolution of the new Hollywood romance, this is a worthwhile addition to the shelf. That's all from us at The Last Disc on Earth, and remember, come the apocalypse, physical media will prevail.